Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Miami, Florida, looking at this gorgeous piece of real estate. And I want to give a huge thank you to the Oscar Arellano team for allowing us to tour their beautiful listing and bringing it to the channel. Now, starting on the exterior, you see that you have that modern, luxurious look. You are going to have a 3-car garage. This one is situated on 0.88 acres. So you have 2 separate driveways with gated entrance, and you can see how much space you get in the front yard, and you're going to definitely see a little bit later on in the tour how much you get in the back. Now, what's really neat about this property is that you do have these wood slat accents. That's going to be where the study is, and we're going to see that a little bit later on as well. And the modern covered front porch. You're going to have 16-foot ceilings. Then you do have the transom windows right above our French doors. And just look how modern this looks. Now you have the modern light fixtures as well. And then as soon as we walk in, the soaring 16-foot ceilings is certainly apparent. Now also inside of here, as far as the foyer is concerned, you're going to have the glossy tile floors. Now, let me know in the comments below what you think about the glossy tiling. We see that quite often out here, and it really just stands out. Now, you can see from the inside the transom windows and then the space that you get. I love that it's French doors and really just sets the tone as soon as you walk in. Now, immediately whenever we walk in, you see how much natural light enters inside of this property. Now, this is going to be more of a formal area right here. You'll see that we'll have a family room a little bit later on closer to the kitchen, but look how spacious it is. Love the fact that it is furnished, of course, so that really just gives you an idea of the space that you get inside of these certain rooms. And then heading to the formal dining area. Now, I really wanted you to see this one because this is a 10-seater dining table and you can see how much space you still have. Now, even with the windows right back there, you see it's surrounded by nature. We'll see that a little bit later on, as well as once we get to the backyard. But then this is going to be a separate wing of the house. This is going to be where the utility room is and a full bathroom. So right here is going to be your water heater. And then as we enter, you're going to see the laundry room. So inside of here, we have the shaker cabinets. You have the separate sink as well. And then you have some additional cabinetry right above our washer and dryer. So the glossy tile floors extends in here, and look at this. You can see the privacy that you get between you and the neighbors. And I know we get that quite often. You know, as we tour some of these homes, we see that and we're like, hey, if the neighbors can just see through you, let's say your bathroom window or something like that, that certainly is a problem. And it'd be nice to be taken care of before you move in. Now, of course, you got a nice closet right there. And then I want to get you a close up of the counters. Look at that. So really matches the cabinetry and the hardware inside of there. And then, of course, looking at our full bathroom. So this is going to be your walk-in shower. You got a shower niche. You have the porcelain tiling as well on the back. And then look at our vanity right here. So nice, very sleek. You have the flat panel drawers inside of here. And then, of course, the nice sleek mirror that you get as well. So you're going to have some custom millwork in here. And then this one is a European style. Maybe you see that now, but you'll certainly see that inside of the kitchen. So now heading over here, look at this. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. You have to let me know in the comments below what you think about this particular home so far. Now you have the waterfall countertops. You're going to have a nice little bar area over here. And then right here, you're going to have the flat panel custom cabinetry that continues here. Now right here, I was wondering if that door opened. So I wanted to make sure I opened that, or tried to open it rather, but it wasn't a door. So I just wanted to clear the air for that. Now, again, you are going to have the flat panel, as you can see in here, really just sets in there. This is framed, but you still have plenty of shelving available. And then not to mention the stack cabinets on top for some additional storage that you can take advantage of. Now, as I pan you around, obviously the natural light enters inside this property from this wing of the house too, But look at that European style kitchen that really was well thought out, and most importantly, it was well designed. So you have that inset cabinet right here, but then you can see how much additional storage you have. So this one doesn't have a walk-in pantry, but as you can tell, there's a ton of cabinet space available. Now, you do have the soft close mechanism on all the drawers and cabinets. You have 2 sinks, one right here overlooking the nature, and then the additional one in the island overlooking your backyard. You have your built-in microwave as well. Now you have the monogram range and the stainless steel range hood right above that. And I want to turn you around so you can see what it would look like if you were doing the dishes right over here. Wow. Now make sure you stay tuned because we're going to take a look at the backyard a little bit later on, and I can't wait to show you the summer kitchen as well. Now right here you got your stainless steel refrigerator and freezer, brand spanking new, so you can take advantage of that as soon as you move in here. Plenty of space, and right below that of course is your freezer. Now I want to do a full pan of the kitchen and the family room. So as far as the measurements are concerned for my analyticals out there, it's 26 by 41, and that's including both rooms. So if you're concerned about hosting gatherings, whether you have family that lives with you or family comes over often, you could comfortably seat 15, 20 people, possibly if you're including both rooms. And then if you open up the French doors leading to the summer kitchen and the backyard, you have even more space. Now, as far as the location is concerned of this particular house, you're only 30 minutes away from Brickell, 28 minutes away from downtown Miami, and only 18 minutes away from Miami International Airport. So if it's one of those things where you need to be in close proximity to an international airport, whether that's business or personal reasons, this is going to be a perfect location for you. Now, heading inside of the primary suite, look how roomy and spacious it is. You have your sitting area right there, an additional king bedroom set there. You have access to the backyard from your primary bedroom. Then you're going to have the his and hers closet. So as far as the measurements are concerned in here, you're going to have 24 by 24, and both of the closets are 10 by 11. So heading into your first closet, you see that you have your built-ins, you have your closet island right there with the glass panes on top. Plenty of room to store any colognes, perfumes, ties, accessories, anything of that nature. You can do that inside of this room without any issues whatsoever. They are going to have the soft close mechanism in here. I just wanted to prove that to you. Now, the cool thing about having his and hers closets is you don't have to worry about fighting and arguing on who gets what space. So I love that. Now, let me know if you or your significant other have ever had any fusses or fights about that. I love to hear your thoughts. You don't have to share, of course, but I love to hear that. Now, very similar as far as the built-ins are concerned in our second closet, as you can see right here. And then we're going to head to our primary bathroom. Now, look how roomy this is. You got your beautiful freestanding tub, porcelain tile surrounding the entire room here. Then you're going to have these separate his and hers sinks, floating vanities, sleek mirror. Again, the porcelain tile continues this way. Then look at that nice tall window right there where our freestanding tub is. Of course, you're probably going to have some blinds right there because I know I get comments about privacy, but if you didn't, you don't have to worry about it. There you go, go for it. But now heading inside of our walk-in shower, look at the oversized shower niche. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I love the fact we got the waterfall shower head again. Then you have an additional rain shower head right above there. The floating shower bench. I think this was one of the first times we've seen a floating shower bench, or at least in the last 6 months that I can recall. Then, of course, you got your water closet right over here to the left. I believe that's a bidet. I could be wrong, so correct me in the comments if you want. But love that. And of course, I mentioned earlier that this was the European style home, and that certainly is apparent right here. Now, heading back out here, as far as the living room is concerned, you're going to have it as 25 by 34. And then we're going to head over here to the left to this wing of the house so you can see how much room you still get. Now, I love to open up every single door, even though sometimes they may be just a furnace or a water heater, but it just gives you a better grasp of the entire layout. Now, the additional 3 bedrooms are going to be on this side of the house. You're going to have 1 straight ahead and then 2 right there. As far as the measurements are concerned on these 2, they're 17 by 17. They're all identical. All of them have en suites, and then you're going to see that as we tour. Now, you have a ton of room in here. Queen bedroom set fits perfectly in here. I'm going to make a bold claim and say that you could fit a king bedroom set in here with 2, smaller nightstands without any issues whatsoever, depending on who's going to be living in here. But that just kind of gives you a better idea. So now we'll head inside of the ensuite. You see that we have the custom drawers. You have dual sinks, the sleek mirror. Every single ensuite that we've seen in here is going to have the bidet and the toilet. So if you want to be Mr. Clean or Mrs. Clean, go ahead and add this or purchase this house and you will certainly be good to go. You're going to have your walk-in shower with your shower wand, shower niche, and the waterfall shower head. And a lot of them, or most of these en-suites, are going to be very similar in nature. So I just want to preface that by saying this. But, it's interesting because whenever we go into a lot of these homes and we see what is possible, it's always interesting. A lot of my viewers may not be in the market now or even in the future for one of these particular style homes, but it just gives you at least a better idea of how they're staging things. What's the decor? What's modern? What's popular in 2025? And then a lot of times, you may not like a lot of these things. They might have more of that modern or foreign, look to it. And then if that's the case, that's okay. You discard that, right? But at least just gives you a better idea so you can possibly take some inspiration from these and add or subtract to your home. Now, heading into our next bedroom, this will be our third one. 17 by 17, as mentioned earlier. You see that you have the 3 windows overlooking the front yard. And then, so you don't have to worry about anybody coming in unannounced. I mean, they will probably still come, but you can make sure that you are ahead of the curve by that time. Now, again, you are going to have this separate closet from the ensuite, but what's unique about these 2 particular rooms is that both of these are going to be equipped with dual sinks. So if it's something where you have family over quite often and they're going to be sharing bedrooms for whatever reason, then this is going to increase the convenience for them. Now, heading inside of the walk-in shower, again, glass enclosed. You got that window right there, waterfall shower head, and the shower wand. The only addition I would have added is the shower niche, but other than that, absolutely perfect. Now, heading out here, we're going to go look at our closet. Again, you do have the privacy glass with the chrome handles, but you have the built-ins, chrome rack, and tucked away, you're going to have some more drawers. So I would say that this is a multifunctional room, whether it's family members are going to be in here, maybe the kiddos are going to be living here, however you choose, it serves all those purposes. All right, so that was the third bedroom. Now we're going to head to the fourth and final bedroom. This one is the smaller of the 4, so 11 by 17, but you still are going to have an ensuite and a generously sized walk-in closet. You still have your built-in racks, your built-in drawers, as well as the built-in shelving. Now, this is going to be perfect for a nursery or a full bedroom set or even a twin bedroom set. You could fit a queen bedroom set in here without any challenges whatsoever. You still have the outlets perfectly positioned, but a nursery would be perfect in here. And then, of course, once they grow up, then this could be their full bedroom right here. But you have your walk-in shower, the flat panel cabinetry, and the drawers, and your walk-in shower still available in here. Now, you don't have the shower wand, but other than that, everything else is pretty similar in nature. Now, again, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about this home. We're going to head over there to the study in just a second, but I really want to hear your thoughts. If you haven't, let me know in the comments below. Really just gives me the feedback that we need on these homes to really tailor these to at least your needs or really what you want to see on this channel. And that just gives me the best idea possible when I hear your feedback. Okay, so your study is immediately whenever you walk in to the left. We're going to see that in just a second. Cool thing about this study is that you still have the privacy, right? Because as you can see, you have the wood slats on the exterior. So that just creates that privacy illusion, but you still have the sunlight that you really want. So this is very spacious. You can see you can probably use this as a 5th bedroom if you chose to. Just doesn't have the closet, of course, but you still have the transom windows and then the tall windows, again, bringing in all that natural light. So extremely spacious, really abundant, and I just love that simple fact. And then throughout the entire home, we saw 0 carpet. So I know you could probably appreciate that. The glossy tile floors extends in here. and let me know if you like the glossy floors, you prefer maybe white oak flooring or something of that nature. Really, this just fits this property perfect, and being a European style property really just makes the most sense, honestly. Now, this way is going to be your 3-car garage. So not only did you have a ton of parking available in the front, but you have the 3-car garage right here, generously sized. As you can see, you have the epoxy flooring again, some additional windows, bringing in that natural light. Sometimes, I mentioned this earlier, I mentioned this in the other tours, the video really doesn't do it justice. So I'd say you could fit the maybe your 2 Cadillac Escalades in there and an additional Tesla, and you are ready to go. All right, so now we're gonna head to the backyard, but before we head there, I want to make sure that you see the summer kitchen and this guest house. So we say it's a guest house, a recreational room, anything of that nature. This will be a perfect gym, maybe a man cave, woman cave, any cave, you name it. This is gonna be a perfect space for you. So let's say you're entertaining in that family room, and then you head out here, you already have your built-in grill. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. You have a little space between here, so if you wanted to add some additional hangout spots right there, you can do that. And then you have some additional areas over there where you can entertain your guests. But look at this, extremely spacious, covered, so shield you from if it's raining, the sunshine, maybe you need to get some shade. This is going to be a perfect place for you. And then imagine out here grilling, everyone's having a good time in the pool. This is what I'm talking about. So you have your additional sink again, then you see that you have the wood ceiling, then the sliders right here. This is gonna open up, and then I just wanna do a full pan so you can see the full scope from this angle. Very spacious, amazing, but as I open this, look at this. Tell me this wouldn't be a perfect gym right here. If you had a Stairmaster in here, you had maybe a treadmill, squat rack, bench, all the above, you can do that. And then of course you have your full bathroom right there, so you can just shower and jump in the pool and have a good time. But look how spacious it is even in this one. But of course, if you wanted to use this as a mother-in-law's quarters, something like that, you can certainly do that too. Then you got your furnace right there, and then the full bathroom straight ahead right here. So let me know in the comments what you would use this particular room for. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You got your privacy glass right there, and then look at this. So right around the corner, you're gonna have your walk-in shower, but you have your floating vanity right here with that custom cabinets or custom drawers right there. Love it. So really, this particular home, you've seen that there's a ton of functions. It really fits a lot of people, whatever stage you are in your life. You have the family, you're single, you have parties quite often, which of course the neighbors may not appreciate too much, but hey, we all want to have a good time. Now let's head out here, see our pool and spa, and then we'll wrap up the tour. Now look at this. This is a pool. Sometimes you see more of the smaller pool, but the cool thing is, look at this. You can have 40, 50 people in here without any issues. No one's bumping into each other. And I just love that. So heading over here, the only addition I think would have, been amazing, even though they added that to the guest house, was having a covered area right here. But other than that, you have this nice artwork right here. Absolutely stunning, a staple for this property. Really sets the tone. Then you got a little spot where you can hang out where the kids can. If they can't go to the deep end, maybe they don't have a life jacket. Well, while you're tanning out here, your kiddos are just hanging out right here. Or maybe you want to just get in here and just feel the water, feel the breeze, enjoy the sunshine. You can certainly do that. But not only is this pool massive, but you still have a ton of room in the backyard. You see the privacy plants between you and the neighbors, so extremely private. And then if you wanted to add a trampoline or a playground back here, you can certainly do that. You have so much room to work with throughout this whole entire backyard. But that was the entire tour, family. Let's take a look at the back of the property, and that way you can get the full scope of this entire yard. But on that, family, that was another beautiful property tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home tour right here in Florida. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.